friends, happy Monday. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. Once you hop on this evening, or once you hop on the replay, tell me hi in the comments and tell me where you're watching from. Also, if you are watching later, put hashtag replay in the comments, and that will trigger me to see that you have watched the video, and then I can say hi. I want to let you know that I'm using an online platform called StreamYard, so I'm live in 3 locations tonight. I am live on my Facebook business page. I am live on my YouTube channel, and I'm also live in my private Facebook group, the Robin's Egg Blue Creations Crafty Collab. And I tell you that in case you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see in your comment feed, that person is viewing and commenting from a different platform. Also, if you happen to be watching from the private group, if you wouldn't mind giving StreamYard access to your profile pic by clicking the link in the description of the video. Otherwise, if you don't give them permission, then you show up as Facebook user and I don't know who to say hi to. So let's go say hi. I see that Bonita is on. She says she scrolled all the way to the bottom and you're not able to give StreamYard permission. It should be like second or third to the last in the group, in the description. I don't know, when I scrolled the last time I could see it. Turn down my volume. Let's go look. You're not, and I saw that you said you're being a pain. You're not being a pain. Let's see if we can get this. Let's just search here. Oh, wrong one. There it is. Okay. So let's go this way. I don't know if you can see my phone at all. It's right at the very bottom, right there. It's right in this particular, right above the video. It says, I'm going live using StreamYard. Before leaving a comment, please grant StreamYard permission to see your name at StreamYard. And it may be a fluke with Facebook. It may be that you've done it before, so it's not giving it to you. Facebook is being really weird these days. So I don't know, but you're not being a pain. Don't worry about it. So, hello, welcome this evening. I also see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door. So again, once you hop on, say hi in the comments. Also, if you wouldn't mind spreading some of that chalk love around social media, that would be great. Hit any button that you need to hit. Tag your taggy friends. Tag your crafty friends, invite them over to watch, all that kind of stuff. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so I can show you what we're working on. And grab. So tonight we're going to use the clean and dirty transfer. So this is perfect for like if you want something to note that your dishes are either clean or dirty, whether they're on the countertop or whether they're in the dishwasher. So we're going to be using this transfer, and it would be really cute and it would be really simple and easy to chalk this on the spinning bistro sign, because you could put the clean on one side and dirty on the other side, and you could just set this on your countertop and flip it every time you unloaded or loaded the dishwasher. So that is one idea. You can put it on the spinning bistro sign. But I wanted to be a little different and show you other ways that you can use this transfer. And I kept thinking to myself, what can I do? I want it to be double-sided. So you've seen me use these before. These are the wood pile rectangles from Hobby Lobby. They're 6x5 by 0.13 inches, which is approximately 1/8 of an inch. And so if we open up, and you get 6 per package, and they are really thin. They're literally 1/8 of an inch thin. So what I like to do is glue them together so they're almost a 1/4 of an inch wide. They're about 3/8 of an inch wide this way, but they are a lot thicker. They take paint really well. They take paint a lot better than they would independently. So I just wood glue them together, and I use binding clips to clamp them. So you can get 3 of those per package. This is what they end up looking like. So here is before I glue 2 together. Here is after I glue 2 together. So you can see they have a lot of bend and flex just as they are. But I can't. I can't bend that one at all. So my suggestion is to glue these together. So that's what I've done. And I don't plan on making 2 tonight, but I do plan on making 1. So I glued them together. I stained them with watered down acrylic paint. So I took my raw umber and my black and kind of mixed them together. I just literally marbled them together. So you kind of get all, so it's not just one solid color. So then I just used a baby wipe and I applied my faux stain. It dries super quick because it's watered down paint. And then I drilled my holes for our faux macrame, and I'll show you how to do that later. So this is, if you've never seen Couture products before, this is a silkscreen reusable adhesive backed transfer. Because it is reusable, and it is reusable about 8 to 12 times depending on how well you take care of it, I want to note on the back that this is the back of the carrier sheet. That way when I'm done and I've cleaned it, I know that I need to put the transfer back on this side of the transfer, or the backer sheet. You'll also notice that this transfer has a suggested cut line. You are more than welcome to cut your transfer apart, backer sheet and all. But until I decide how I'm going to store them, and I store them by size of surface that they go on, I'm going to score it. And so I'm lifting up a portion of the transfer and putting my scissors underneath, and I'm just going to run or score my scissors across that line. You could use a straight edge, like an X-Acto knife. It works the exact same way. So I now have 2 pieces of transfer, but I only have 1 backer sheet. So just keeps me from having to keep track of more than 1 backer sheet. I'm just trying to decide which, well, I guess it doesn't matter which side because we'll be chalking on both. But I think, no, we'll just do 1. I was going to do 1 on one side and 1 on the other, but let's just get 1 project done this evening instead of 2 that are half finished, which is the story of my life. Raise your hand in the comments if that is the story of your life, half finished or never finished projects. Since these are sticky backed transfers, and this is a piece of wood that I have stained or painted, I do not want my transfer to peel off any wood fibers, and I don't want my transfer to stick so hard to this piece of wood that when I pull it up, it stretches, which may affect its functionality. So I'm going to seal this piece of wood with the Couture surface wax. Benita says, LOL, half finished. And she has checked by her name that she has pieces half finished. I have so many projects that I've half finished and never just gotten done. It's ridiculous. So I just have some wax on my wax applicator. You can use an old t-shirt, you can use a terry cloth towel, you can use a paper towel. It does not matter. You don't have to have fancy tools. So I'm just buffing this in, and what it's doing is getting into the tiny cracks and crevices. So it will, the third reason I do this is it will keep my paste from bleeding into those nooks and crannies, but it also is a protective layer, not only for my wood surface, but my transfer. So I'm just going to flip my applicator over, and I'm going to kind of buff that wax to a shine. So it should be shiny. You should be able to tell that there's a little bit of a sheen on the one that's in my right hand. So now let's do the other side. I'm just going to get my towel out so that it's my, I think I did that side. I can't even tell which one I did. So that this, my other side doesn't get all scratched up. So how was everyone's weekend? I hope it was cool wherever you were at. I know Bonita's local to me, so we were probably, we were both hot and sweaty this weekend. It is hot and humid here in Kansas. I was not ready for summer this fast. July and August maybe, but whew, not in June. Okay, so we have both of those waxed. And now we're going to take our transfer and we're going to fuzz it. And all that means is we're just going to put it on a terry cloth towel. You could also use your t-shirt. You can use your pants. You could use the couch cushion. We just want to add a thin layer of lint to the back side of this transfer. Again, so that it doesn't stick so hard that it either pulls up wood fibers or it makes my transfer stick so hard that it pulls and stretches and doesn't work properly. Anita says she spent it at her mom's, replacing an outside faucet that you found had been leaking for about a year. Oh goodness. Hopefully you got it fixed. Okay, so I just want to show you. I'm only going to use the portion that says clean, and then this we aren't going to put ourselves away, because that's all that's, I mean, I could maybe squeeze it all on there, but I just want the text, and then we're going to do something different with the icons here in a little bit. So I'm not going to use the entire transfer yet. I have more than lint on the back side of this. Okie doke. So I'm just gonna lay and I'm just lifting it up to let the light shine through the transfer to make sure I have it. I have to move it to the left a little bit, because I can see through the sides of the transfer. That looks pretty good. I think I want it down some. I'm just trying to get it lined up how I want it. I'm going to move it down some more. Again, I'm lifting it up. That looks good. So now I'm just going to burnish all of those silkscreen areas that I'm going to paste right now, making sure that there's a good adhesion. Because I have, oh geez, There's something all over my towel. Okay. So I think I'm going to use Dune. It's kind of a creamy beige color. So that's what it looks like. Really yummy. And I'm just going to do one quick, easy color. So I'm just going to get some paste onto my squeegee. So this is chalk in liquid form. It does dry hard to the touch. It is semi-permanent. It will, I could scratch it off, but if I wanted to make it completely permanent on this wood piece, I could seal it with a clear sealer. But on most chalkboards, glass, and most metals, you can redesign on those surfaces. So you can re-wet the paste, reconstitute it, and wipe it away and redesign again on certain surfaces. So I'm just dragging my paste down the silkscreen areas. I have a little bit excess on my squeegee, so I will wipe that off. And I'm just going to smooth out my squeegee lines. So here's my favorite part. Benita says, when I get something stuck on my transfer, that is a problem. I use a piece of tape to get it off. Works like a charm. That's a good idea. So this is my favorite part, the peel and reveal. Looks pretty good. I have a little bit of a flaw where my E is, but I can show you how to fix that. I'm going to dry it first though, and then I'll show you how to fix it. You can let your paste air dry naturally. I'm just speeding it up with the quick dry tool. It does not get hot. You can also use a hair dryer on a low or cool setting. I think that's dry. Okay, so I have a few little boo-boos, like my E here bled a little bit, and then I have a little bit in the A right there, and a little bit on this O. So you can take the detail tool. It has a small squeegee on this end, and if you remove this cap, it has kind of a silicone pokey tool at the end. I'm going to make sure this is good and dry. So you can take that pokey end and you can kind of, especially in these smaller areas that bled, you can just kind of scratch at the area where your paste bled. So I'm going to fix this O. And I'm just using a dry brush to get some of those chalk pieces gone. And so now let's work on this E. It won't be perfect, but it'll be better than it was. There's a little bit by the P. There you can see where we fixed it. So the E isn't perfect right there, but it is better. I fixed the A, I fixed the P, I fixed this O right there. So it does look better. So now we can go to the other side. And I'm going to bring my towel back out. I just don't want this side to get all scratched up. And then we will bring in the other transfer. And again, we will fuzz this one. Just a couple of times. And then we will place it as well. Just going to kind of, so maybe a thumb width between my hole and the top of the letters. Again, that's not rocket science, but it is helpful. Oh, that's way too low. Okay, that's pretty good. Holding it up to the light. This one needs to go to the right a little bit. Then I'm using, yep, that looks really good. So now let's burnish. And then we'll chalk this side. My doom seems really thin. That might be part of the problem. That might be why I had some bleeding. So I'm going to make sure I use a really light touch. So very limited pressure. And if you do think your paste is a little thin, you can leave it out. Just put some on a color tray and let it kind of thicken up just in the open air. This one says, please just wash us already. So again, I'm taking my excess off. I can always reuse it. And now I'm just going to gently smooth out my lines. Pop my top on. And now let's see the reveal. Much better. Okay, so let's get this one dry. This one does have a few tiny bleeds. I've noticed that if your paste is thin like my Dune was, that it won't bleed when you're applying it. It actually bleeds after you peel the transfer off, it doesn't have that silk screen barrier anymore, and so it'll start to run after you've released the transfer, and it also kind of runs when you add air to it. So my line were perfect before as I took it off, my transfer off, but as it sat there and it didn't have a barrier anymore, it kind of oozed. There's a little bit of my D and then my T, so I'm going to fix it a little bit as well. For the most part, I love the new formula, but there is a caveat to that. I do have a few more runs than I used to, and it's usually after they happen after I've removed the transfer, just because it's a thinner consistency. I do prefer a thicker paste, but the detail tool works great. So I'm going to put this to the side because I want to show you how quick and easy it is to clean the transfers. So you just need a water source, whether that be a water tub, which is what I like because it's right here. I don't have to go walking back and forth to the utility sink, but you can use any other water source like a sink, a utility sink, kitchen sink, bathroom sink. You just need a water source of some sort and a board eraser. I'm going to let the clean side sit for a little bit just because it dried a little more than the dirty side did. So I just like to get my board eraser wet, and then I'm going to drag it down the silk screen area that I pasted on. I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to do the back side and get a lot of that lint off that I put on. And then I'm going to lay it sticky side up. And then we'll do the same thing to clean. I did forget that I still need these for those little icons, but we'll just get them dried. This way I'm not using a dirty transfer either. Okay. So then I'm also going to get a disinfecting wipe out, and I'm going to wipe off the back. One, I think this helps wick away a lot of the water. Two, it helps to get more of that lint off. Okay. So now we'll use the microfiber side of our towel. Earlier we used the terry cloth side. Now we'll use the microfiber side, and I just sandwich my transfers in between the microfiber towel sides, and it dries it pretty quickly. Because I didn't have a lot of room on these pieces, I did paint up some of these little circles, and they are 2 inches across. And I'm gonna chalk the icon on those, and then we'll probably just hang it from the hanger. So let's get those waxed as well while we're waiting for our transfers to dry. So I will do it the same way I did the signs. just a little bit of surface wax. It doesn't take a lot. So now let's buff that one. There's one. Can you all believe that this is going to be the last weekend in June? I just feel like I flipped the June calendar over 2 days ago. It's crazy. Okay. So let's pull this transfer out. It should be fairly dry. So let's put this one in here just to make sure it gets good and dry. Okay, so now let's bring in one of our circles. Now the plates aren't going to fit all the way. This one has a plate and a cup. So I'm just going to put just a portion of, and I think I'll try to put most of the mug, all of the mug, and maybe some of the plate. I don't know. Maybe. We'll flip it. Maybe we'll do it that way. No, it needs to go down. And again, I can hold it up to the light and see what it looks like. I don't want to move it to the left. Bear with me. There it looks. Still want to drop it down. I've got it centered side to side, but I think I want to drop it down. That looks better. Okay, so now I'm going to burnish that. We're going to use black. Jason says this year is flying by. He is correct. So I just have the multi-tool. It's kind of it's about not even a ½ inch. No, it is just at a ½ inch. So it's a small squeegee, so it can get the smaller details. And it holds really well. It holds just kind of like a pencil. Gives you a lot of control. So you can get into those smaller details and those smaller spaces. Remove my excess. Let's dry that one. There is the plate, and it was a mug, but I think I've made it into a saucer or a bowl. because I didn't put the handle on there. That's super cute. And then I think most of this one fits on there. So then we just have this stack of dirty dishes. And luckily I can see through the transfer, so I can kind of see what my placing looks like. Looks really good. So we're just going to do it just like that. Burnish it down. Get a little bit of black. If you are local to me and in the Salina area, I will be a vendor this weekend at the Family Fun Festival. It's from 10 until 3 at the 4-H building. And I did read there are going to be over 30 vendors, which I think is fantastic. And there will be a bouncy house for the little kiddos. So I will have handmade gifts and decor. I will have Couture cash and carry items like transfers, and I'll have some paste singles, and I'll have some ink, and a few tools, and a few surfaces. So I'd love, and I'll have my demo table out, so if you've never played with these products, I encourage you to stop by and say hi and try out some of the products. So there is our stack of dirty dishes. So now we get to go on to the fun part. So let's move, after I make a big old mess. Okay, so you'll notice that I had drilled holes. I didn't drill holes. I cut holes with my Big Bite Crocodile. And this is kind of like the rainbow faux macrame wall hangings that I made earlier. I think I'm going to use this yarn, and I hope that it's going to fit. And I happen to have a random twisty tie, so I'm going to use that as my needle. So I just need to determine how long I want my strips. And if I'm going to try to put maybe some multiple strands through the same hole, but I don't know if my holes are going to be big enough. But we're going to do this just like we do the fabric scraps. We're going to use a Lark's head knot, and I don't want them very long. So I think we can always cut them off if they're too long. I think we'll start with this. And if you guys could feel this yarn, it is so soft and silky. I don't know if you can see all those fibers hanging off of there. I mean, it just feels like a stuffed rabbit. I'm going to try to get 2 through there. So what I'm going to do is put these in my twisty tie and just squeeze it. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think I have to go from the back to the front. I never can. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can go from back to front or front to back. So I just created this little loop right there, and I'm going to pull my tails through my loop. Nope, I did it backwards. So I need to go front to back. No worries. It usually takes me 1 to figure it out. So now instead we're going to go I'm going to put that down to protect that other side. So I'm just pulling it through front to back. So now my loop is going to be on the back side. So I've got my loop on the back side. I'm just going to pull my tails through. I like to have this cross piece go in the front. So there is one hole. And I probably could have gotten away with another strand, but I forgot to measure. So we'll use this piece as our measuring piece. So I'm just going to keep cutting. I know this is going to be tedious. So again, I'm just folding my pieces in half. I'm going to put my twisty tie around them, kind of squeeze it apart. It's kind of acting as my needle because I don't think I could jam 2 strands of yarn through there. And you could use, this would be really cute with fabric strips. But again, make your loop, grab all 4 of your tails, and pull it through. So there you go. So we'll use this piece again to measure. I can find the end. I have no idea where the end is. Oh, right there. Okay, so there's. I'm just keeping this one over here, so because it's what I'm measuring with. Wait, it just seems. Wait, oh well, I see what I did. I think. Yeah. Okay. So now I have 2 sets. Okay, so again, fold your strips in half. Take your little twisty tie. You could probably even use an embroidery needle, or you could get like a bead needle that had a larger head on it. But I'm just using a twisty tie because that was what was available and that's what works. You could probably use a pipe cleaner. So I've made my loop and I'm going to pull my tails through. So then I have my next set. So again, loop them and put them together, fold them in half. Grab your little makeshift needle and then put your tails through the loop. Oops. Okay. So again, fold your strips in half, insert your needle. I know this is going to get redundant. Pull them through. Fold your strips in half. Okay, answer me this. Who here completely rinses their dishes before they put them in the dishwasher? answer in the comments. And I will tell you, if you hate to rinse your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher, you need to buy a Maytag dishwasher that has a built-in garbage disposal, because you will never have to rinse them again. Although I still rinse them sometimes, but you can put those suckers in dirty and they will come out clean. Jason says, not anymore. We don't rinse ours. We love our Maytag. Okay, 3 more left, and then we'll be done with this one. Thanks for bearing with me. I could finish it later, but that would mean one more half-finished project, and I really just need to get projects done. I am going to do a craft your stash night one of these days, so if you're interested in joining a even stuck on egg, our dishes can sit in the sink for a few days, not rinsed at all, and you can put them in the dishwasher and they will come out clean. Every now and then you may get something, but no. Stuck on ice cream, stuck on spaghetti sauce. Now I don't wash any of my pans. I hand wash all those, but all of our dishes go straight in as they are. So look for a dishwasher. I don't know if Maytag is the only one that makes those, but look for a dishwasher that has a garbage disposal built in. I think that's what makes it. But Jason's telling you, Benita, there's nothing it won't take off. It's incredible. I have to remind myself not to rinse just because I'm in the habit of rinsing, but if you're water conscious, it's definitely a good investment, because you can save on a lot of water not having to rinse dishes. That's not why we bought it, though. We bought it because we just don't like rinsing dishes. Benita said, you hand wash your pots and pans. Yeah, I had Pampered Chef pots and pans, and they were all hand washed, but I still just hand wash them all. Otherwise they get the coating on them gets all weird. Okay, last one. And then we'll quickly work on our hanger. So that's what we have so far. So I can't decide. I don't know whether to use just the same piece of yarn as the hanger. I think because it's going to get a lot of flipping, you're going to flip it back and forth, and yarn is kind of stretchy. I think I want to use twine. So I need to figure out, I don't need that much on each side. So I'm just going to cut 2 pieces of twine. This is just the smaller, finer twine. Benita says she hates her dishwasher. It's loud and doesn't get your silverware clean. You always end up rewashing them. Oh, you need to get a Maytag. Actually, yeah, this will work. So I have doubled my length over. Is that going to be? No, that's not what I want to do. I've not doubled my length over. Although I made my hole too big. I'm just going to use 2, mainly because my hole is a lot bigger. So then I'm just on, let's see, these are the dirty dishes. So the little dirty icon goes on this side. Bonita says yes, she would use twine. Jason says the dishwasher is not that expensive either, $600 to $700 at Menards, and you get a rebate. Bonita says she loves Menards. That's sadly we ended up buying most of our new appliances at Lowe's, but at the time that's only because Menards didn't deliver. But they do now. In the Salina area, they do deliver now. I mean, there's a charge, of course, but yeah, we do most of our hardware shopping at Menards. Okay, so I've just added the little icon right there. And so then let's flip it over. We'll do the same thing. Oops. So I just added my icon to one strand because I couldn't get through both. And you could leave these off entirely. It's completely up to you. So now I'm just going to take this wadded mess up here, and I'm just going to knot it. Actually, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to tie these down here just because that's a lot of and then that'll give my icon kind of a stopping point. So let's take this one off. Sorry. It just was a big wad of twine that I didn't like. I'm just tying just a regular old knot. And then let's put our icon through here. I think we're at Menards almost every weekend. Although we weren't there this past weekend at all. Okay, so now you can take all of this and just kind of knot it. Easier said than done. And then let's trim those so they're all even Steven. And then you can just let those fray naturally. So let's change our camera angle, and I'll show you this from the front view. I always have to find my mouse. There we go. So here we have clean, and then we have dirty. And then you can go along and even these up, and I'll do that later. But so dirty, please just wash this already, and then clean, we aren't going to put ourselves away. So then you can hang it from a command hook on the front of your dishwasher. You can hang it from the counter or from the cabinet above your dishwasher. You could get a cute little wreath stand to put it on your countertop. Super cute. So I will even those out, and then it will be ready to go. Okie doke. That was fun. So let's just want to show a few things first. Just you have a little over a week to get the Club Couture transfer for this month. This is an exclusive design for designers and Club Couture members. It is a monthly DIY subscription kit, and it comes with an exclusive transfer and 3 paste singles. This month the colors are Couture Teal, Guava, and Shimmer Harvest. It is $19.99 a month. There is a 3-month minimum commitment to join, but you can cancel at any time after that. Also, as a Club Couture member, you do get $5.99 flat rate shipping. Also, this month is a Creative Kickstart month. So there are 2 exclusive transfers and 1 palette pack available for this month. Once they're gone and once June is over, they will not be available any longer. They are available at retail price on my Chalk site, or you can earn them for free by spending $65 to get the Explore Dream Discover transfer, or spend $80 and get both transfers for free. The palette pack is not included in the free promotion, but you can use it toward your cart limit to get those transfers for free. Also, as a Creative Kickstart exclusive, there is a Creative Kickstart designer kit. This month only, while supplies last. There are a limited number of these kits. Once they sell out, they are gone. It is a $200 value kit, and you can get it for $59. That is $40 off the normal kit price. You do have to pay shipping and handling. So if you've ever been on the fence about being a designer, if you like what I do and would like to do it yourself, if you want to get the products at a discount so that you can make projects to sell, or if you just want to sell the product, or if you want to have crafty classes, there's lots of ways to build a business, and you don't even have to build a business. You can just get the products at wholesale. So if you want more information about that, just let me know. I will be live again on Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. Central Time. I will not be live Saturday because I will be at that vendor event, but if you are local to Salina, stop by the 4-H building anytime between 10 and 3, say hi, and shop my products, shop my projects. I thank you for watching this evening, and I will see you on Wednesday. Thanks, and see you later.